my co-host, co-captain, co-conspirator, Uncle Juju.
What is up, babies?
How's everybody doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to BXTV, aka Back from Hell, your Spotify and YouTube podcast where you didn't know everything you needed to know. You know what I'm saying? So welcome back. Welcome back. Make sure if you're on YouTube, you drop a like and a subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And maybe a comment if you're bored. You know, give us a recommendation on comic book of the week if you got one. Welcome back, Juju.
Great to be here, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, always, dude. Always. I wouldn't have it with anybody else. You know what I mean? So
Uh,
me and Juju were gone last week. He was with family. So we didn't have. We did put a video out. You guys saw. We just had a random little pod. But we made it up. We made it up. We have some good stuff tonight. We have two primary things: comic book of the week, and we're going to talk about Terminator Zero, the new Netflix original series. It's an anime. It's 8 episodes long, about 28 minutes each. So it's very easy to binge. I watched it in about 2 days, maybe 3. I think I watched the first 2 episodes like one night and then like a day, like literally like sat down and watched the rest like 2 days later. I did it
I
like
watched
that.
the whole thing in one go.
Yeah, I
So
I could have, but like I just I wanted to take it in because I knew you were gonna
yeah,
do that like the day we do this. I watched it like the beginning of this week. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
mhm,
I wanted to kind of like take it in like 2 to 3 episodes at a time. So by the time we got here, I didn't completely forget it, kind of thing. But
yeah.
either way, we got to talk about it. It's gonna be a good time. Um, but comic book of the week, we have a brand new book that came out this past Wednesday. That is August. Wait, no, not August. Whatever, September, whatever. Um,
Yeah.
we have Plastic Man No More. Is a DC Black Label book written by Christopher Cantwell, and the artist is Jacob Edgar and Alex Linz, and the colorist is Marcelo Milo,
Mhm.
Maiolo. Um,
I don't know how to say that. He's got to be mixed.
yeah, I don't know. Either way, it's a DC Black Label book, and I've never really read Plastic Man. I've always been kind of into him. I know he's like a low level crook. Like I kind of look at him in the eyes of Kite Man ish, but not as silly.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah. As soon as I saw they were doing a DC Black Label book with Plastic Man, I was all in because so far everything Black Label I've picked up has been fire. Which I can tell you all, I can count it on one hand because I'm fairly new to the Black Label books. Peacemaker, Boy Wonder, Hellblazer, the John Constantine book. Boy Wonder
yes.
was the Robin book, and now fucking
Oh, Plastic Man.
Plastic Man. So yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, where do we even start with this one? Cause I, I, I thought, the whole approach to the comic was fucking awesome. Like,
Yes.
I thought because so guys, you don't know this, but if I'm correct, it starts off with Plastic Man and them saving somebody in the Justice League.
Uh,
Or no, no,
no.
it's a
It
bank
started
robbery.
off with them robbery.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was not a bank robbery. It was a jewelry heist.
jewelry store.
Plastic Man before he's Plastic Man, and this dude are robbing a jewelry store, and he's trying to steal this watch with the galaxy in it, and the gems are the planets. Like I remember that
Yeah.
to the T. And
hmm
basically, it's not there. They get caught by the police. He goes to jail, and then they do this fast forward. And it's
Yes.
basically like one page, and it shows you everything in the past, what, 10, 20 years?
Yeah, it's like parole versus first he gets released, then parole violation number 1, then like parole violation number 5.
And then it's
Like
like 17, and then it shows that he falls in this pit of fucking radioactive, like, whatever. then now he's Plastic Man and he's with the Justice League. And
Yes.
basically, after that happens, him and the Justice League are trying to save these people. He gets hit with a death ray in his arm, like kind of like in his arm area, and comes out of this little portal. And this is the cool thing: everything when he's with the Justice League is in like cartoony comic book, and when he's
Yeah.
not with the Justice League, he's in it's like badass, like really
Like,
detailed
s-
artwork.
yeah, like kind of serious, more realistic looking. Like,
Yeah, it's
um,
and I think that's the really cool approach is that like every time he takes the Justice League
yeah,
teleporter, like there's like a change in the whole art style to kind of like because like the other thing is like every time he's with the Justice League, they kind of look over him and treat him like a nobody, and I feel like that
yeah,
cartoon style like helps you feel like how silly he is and like how they view him.
and one of the things I loved was like he's telling them that like his something wrong with him basically, that like his arm's in a colostomy bag and like he needs help, and they just keep talking over him, and they have like he starts a bubble and then the bubble just overlaps. So it's
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
get that sense, and then when he does get a sentence, it sounds like a joke to them. So that's when they start laughing, and like Wonder Woman is like, "Oh, you're something else or whatever," and it's like, "No, I have a fucking serious issue. I'm not like the
yeah.
happy-go-lucky loudmouth of the group,
And that's
you
what I'm
know."
saying. Like that whole art style, which those like the way they do the bubbling is included. Like, just really makes you feel how the Justice League views him, and it's just like not this serious character at all. And as soon as he goes back to his house in the teleporter, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's all realistic. It's sad. He's in
lot,
pain.
lots of shadows.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And Bobo, right? That was his name? The
Yeah,
monkey?
Bobo.
Yeah, he shows up and basically is like, Batman said go to this guy. Like, this person knows fucking science and physics and all this crazy genetic. He's like a genetic doctor, or she is a genetic doctor, or
Yeah,
whatever. And he's like, alright, like, if you say so, it's like a Wayne Enterprise doctor. So he goes, and she basically tells him, like, long story short, you're dying,
yeah,
like your cells are like splitting, and that's why his body is like melting off and like falling apart and everything, because like
yeah,
she was basically saying like her from her best guess is like this was inevitable or whatever.
yeah. Inevitability.
Yeah, and like uh like this was gonna happen one day regardless. It just the death race sped things up, like it,
Yeah,
like him taking, because like he thought it was just like a regular ray that was burning him, and it wasn't. It was like, since he's Plastic Man, it took a while, but it got like intermingled with his genetic makeup and everything and his DNA, and now he's basically splitting apart and melting. That's like the best way to sum it up.
yeah, yeah. And
He's like
he also
laughing
has,
too when like this shit's
yeah,
going down.
and you find out too that he also has a family, and
Yeah,
like
well,
he's
like,
trying to do
well,
what's
well,
best
well,
for
that's
them.
well, that's after. That's like you find out afterwards, because he's like, when he leaves the doctor, he goes back to his apartment, and he's like, I don't know what's worth saving or throwing away, and then he thinks of his son, so he goes and visits his son, and basically tells his son that he's dying and
Yeah,
that this could happen to you. And he's like, you need to go see this doctor. And he's like, don't do this. He's like, don't tell mom. Blah blah blah. But yeah, he's basically he's trying to make sure like everything is okay.
yeah. He's trying to reconcile like with his son.
Yeah,
Like,
well, he's also trying to protect him. He's trying to like tell
yeah,
him like, yo, maybe see this doctor and like see if you can prevent this from happening. Like I don't have time to do that, but you do. And his son's with the Titans or whatever as well. You find out, And but then in the middle of the night, he goes back to the doctor's house apartment. He stretches his head all the
Yeah.
way up. It's an awesome fucking panel at the end. Basically, she tells him that he would have to make this crazy radioactive nuclear fucking weapon blast and be at the center of it to stop this from ever
Yeah.
happening, because he's like trying to think of his son. He doesn't really care about him, but he's like, so if I do this, would it like stop it in general? She's like, yeah, like it would stop it from ever happening, but like the blast could literally wipe you out to a pulp. Like it might not even be
Yeah.
worth doing it because you're setting off like a fucking you're setting off a nuclear blast. Like,
Yeah.
and what does he say? He's like, oh, so you're telling me I need to make a nuclear weapon? And he's just
Yep.
like totally hype on it. So I have a feeling this book is gonna be about him trying to build this weapon,
Yes.
and what it's actually gonna do is not good, and somebody's gonna have to figure out another way. And I have a feeling he's probably gonna die.
Yeah.
I could be
I.
wrong. I could be
I.
wrong, but it's a Black Label book, so
Yeah. I agree with you on that. He is probably going to meet his demise. There was also that interesting panel where like it kind of showed where all like the melting shit is going and
yeah,
how it's like kind of growing into something else. So I'm
yeah.
kind of wondering if that's going to have I mean it's going to have a part to play, but like
How big of a
how
part?
big?
Yeah, is it gonna
Yeah.
be like the big boss other than the bomb? Because I feel like the Justice League is gonna get involved when they figure out he's making a
Yeah.
nuclear weapon. Like, and he's not making it to hurt anybody. He's trying to make a weapon to cure his
Himself.
son. Well, his son. He doesn't want it to ever happen, because that's what he's like basically saying to her is like, how do I prevent this from happening? Like, and she's like, this would stop it completely, because like the whole thing is like this will happen to his son regardless. Like the death rate is just speeding it up, so he's trying to find a solution for it completely. So
Yeah.
I think this nuclear weapon's gonna be a big fucking thing. But I don't know, man. I really dig the art though. Like when they're not with the Justice
Yes.
League and it's just him, like the art is like awesome. Like I don't know. It feels very much like the only Marvel book that gives me this vibe is Daredevil, and that's because it's New York Hell's Kitchen at nighttime, and like it
Yeah.
feels like Plastic Man is somewhere like in Gotham or like a city like that. And I just like how it's so dark and like there's no real bright colors to it. You know what I mean? Like other than his like
Yeah.
melting skin, like when his skin's like melted, it's
Yeah,
like
but it's
they looks like almost bubble gummy. Looks like chewed up
yeah,
bubble
and
gum,
then
not to be gross.
I think the perfect analogy I'll use to kind of like convey what you're thinking is like Dorothy going through the door in The Wizard of Oz, except that it goes in reverse. It goes from bright and colorful and fun to you open the door and it's dark, depressing sadness and reality, on the other side.
Yeah, that is actually a good example.
Because like you go into it thinking like I've always thought of Plastic Man as being kind of a frivolous character in that like he's fun and pop jam bang stretch like DC fun and goodness from like the early 70s 'cause I think that's right around when his
I
character hit peak
I low key don't have a clue.
because I know he's one of the older ones in terms of like 40-50 years ago um to have like an actual serious book was kind of like encased in that oh fun and pop is like yeah this is exactly where these books need to be going not need to be going but like this is the direction that they should take you take a character like for instance Black Label did the Bedrock series that I
Yeah,
loved and
he is
again
old.
it's
He's from 1941.
Oh shit, he's even older than I thought. I thought he came from like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, dude. Nah. Police Comics #1, August 1941.
Jesus.
DC Comics 1960. Okay, so it was Quality Comics where he first appeared, and then DC got him from 1966 to present.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Oh,
think he does have a couple fucked up DC stories though, to be fair. Like I don't
yeah.
I think it's kind of like the Animal Man thing. I think like there's been like stories here and there that were kind of like more serious tone. I could be wrong, but I definitely agree with you that like Black Label is kind of like this guarantee like more adult themed
Yeah.
stories. Like even The Boy Wonder, it might have looked like a kid's book, but like the whole thing is about this child carrying this guilt of killing somebody's dad or just a civilian in general, even if he was a bad guy. He's carrying this guilt because like even his own father's looking at him differently. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like he's questioning his whole existence and everything he's been raised to believe when he finally does what he was bred to do, and he finds out that's not what he was bred to do. Like it's actually a deep fucking story. And that's what I think
Yeah.
this Plastic Man story is going to end up being. You know, like where Peacemaker Tries Hard was more of like a fun. They had deep moments,
Yeah.
but it was more of like a fun, violent, action-packed, funny story. And this is more like I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like serious tone and just like
Yeah.
depressing.
I honestly think this is going to go into straight body horror territory. I
Yeah,
think you're
for
going to start
sure.
seeing more of him falling off, and it's going to be gross and kind of heinous and hard to look at. Um,
Which I'm here
which
for.
exactly, I am 100% here for it. Like the comic books that we read today was so funny because literally compare and contrast because one is strictly for adults, the other one is for everybody, and you can just tell,
Oh yeah, the
you know.
Marvel Zombies Dawn of Decay versus
Yeah,
Plastic Man No More. I definitely think Plastic Man No More is like, like it's not supposed to be, but it's definitely scarier because it's just like he's dealing with like
yeah,
real life consequences and like you get like the whole like feel of like family and like it's just fucked up story. He's
yeah,
fighting the clock on death and he's like trying to explain it to his son, who he has like a shit relationship with, by the way.
yeah.
Like he hasn't talked to him in 6 years, and the first thing he tells him is he's dying, literally.
And
That's straight up what
I mean
happened.
that is, yeah, that's, and it's rough to rub salt in the wound. The only person on your team that takes you seriously is the talking monkey.
Yeah, like
Like that's a shot in the nuts too. Like,
yeah, no, I mean it's not really it's not really it's not promising. But yeah, man, I'm locked in for all 5 issues. I will
yes,
definitely be reading all of this. Did you get a physical or did you get it online?
I got it online.
Okay,
Um,
I was wondering. So that
yeah,
means you probably have it ready for every time it comes out or whatever.
yes, I have it in my click box.
Yeah,
As
okay.
they say.
Tight, tight. What comic app do you use?
I use Kindle.
Okay.
Like I use the actual like Amazon Kindle app,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
occasionally, if it's not like a hot off the presses new release, I can usually try and get it off of Marvel or the DC app if I'm really trying to frustrate myself.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't heard good.
I'm sorry. The Marvel app is fucking awesome and it works every time. DC and Dark Horse need to fix their shit. Like I'm looking at you specifically, Dark Horse, because like I love a lot of your stuff. Fix your shit, bro. Fix it.
Yeah, yeah. I get that. Um, I'm not gonna lie though. I rate this story wise a 10, and I'm
Yes.
gonna give the art a 9.5 because I think I think the transition between Justice League and normal art is a risk that not everybody is probably gonna dig. Like,
Yeah.
so I give it a 9.5 for that. I like the risk, but I can understand where some people might not enjoy that. But I think it adds to the story and it really shows you how they view him. So if you don't really get it, so it's not really a risk at the end of the day. But either way, that's why I gave it a 9.5. What about you?
I give it a solid 10.
All right, hell
I give
yeah.
it a 10 all around. You took a character that again I thought was frivolous and turned it around, made it serious, gave it serious stakes. The art, I mean, I didn't find the transitions as not particularly jarring. I thought it was an interesting detail.
No, I mean,
Um
yeah, same. I could see other
and I also
people.
think I have a feeling that as the story goes on, that style is going to be less and less. Like they're going to have less of it. It's going to be more serious and dark and emotionally jarring. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I feel, yeah, I mean, probably as the Justice League sees things going to shit, if they even keep appearing, they might be out of the picture for the rest of the book. Who knows? I have a feeling they're not, though. I have a feeling they didn't just throw the Justice League in there for no reason.
yeah,
Like,
and also made them look like straight up assholes.
yeah, they did. They
Like,
did. They really did. But yeah, I mean, if you like DC Black Label, pull this book. You know what I mean? If you like unique stories, pull this book. It's definitely different. Um, I like it. Juju likes it, and there's some. I got this. I got. I think they're all cardstock covers, so they're all pretty nice. That's that thick paper or whatever that Image uses on a lot of their
yeah,
books. DC does too. But yeah, I definitely recommend it, dudes. And shout out the writer. He had not an. I personally think not an easy task, and he's nailing it. Like Juju said, taking these characters that nobody really cares about or takes seriously and delivering it on a platter of like emotion.
yeah,
Like it's like, damn, all right, man. Like you could have went the peacemaker route and you didn't. Like I mean, you did a little bit with some of the jokes, like like whatever, and like how some of the panels are drawn. But I'm sure that's
yeah,
just a given with his character. He's plastic. Like he can stretch. You're gonna have to
yeah.
do some like silly shit. But yeah, I definitely think you guys should pull it. Tell your LCS, get to it. If you're in the Virginia area, give Velocity Comics a look. And if you're not in the Virginia area, Velocity Comics has an eBay, and they're always
Yeah.
doing a sale, so you can always look on their eBay for books. It's a lot of like not in print stuff. So and they have toys and stuff too, and trade paperbacks and full sets. So make sure you give them a holler. Uh but on to the meat and puddings of tonight, man.
Yes.
Me and Juju grew up in an era where Arnold was the Terminator. And
Yeah.
when the second one came out, it really it really did shit to everybody. Like, like, and I think some people will say, a lot of people will say a lot of the more recent Terminator stuff isn't as good. And it's here or there. I don't think it's great, but I believe, and and I really mean this, I truly believe Terminator Zero by Netflix is the Terminator like franchise we need right now.
100% agreed. And I would also like to add to the caveat. This TV series, I've always been very polite to my AI. This series, Samantha Y. I always say please and thank you. Like, I am gonna be nice hi to every fucking AI out there. Because fuck.
nah, I I totally get what you're saying. Nah, man, it's dope because the anime, because it's like an anime, but they don't
Yeah,
lean too heavy into it. Like, it feels like an early, like a late '90s, early 2000s anime in the way that the style is done.
yes,
And I don't know, man. I think it's dope because it'll get people who are younger into the Terminator franchise, and hopefully they'll go back to the older ones and be like,
yeah.
"Oh, damn, John Connor." Like,
And I feel like the like you said, like the art, the Terminator and Terminator 2 did something to people. Like that movie hit home for a lot of people, and every single one since then, and this is an honest criticism, has ridden on the heels of Arnold. I'll be back. Hasta la vista. And
get
it
to the
became
chopper if you
almost
want to
parody.
live.
Yeah, it became parody of itself, as opposed to like Terminator Salvation, which was one of my favorite movies out of like the sequels. Where the T-800 shows up at the last minute of the movie, and it's like, oh shit, Arnold's back, cool, but it's the Arnold we remember, not
Yeah, yeah.
you know the Governor.
The Governor. That's funny as
But like
shit.
this series took the initial concept of Skynet, of Cyberdyne systems, of the T-800, and just artificial intelligence in general, and removed, kind of divorced Arnold from that, and said, we're going to do something different. We're going to
Yeah,
have the T-800s, but they're going to be different people.
yeah. Well, see, and the cool fucking thing was instead of just Skynet, it was America launches its Skynet, and
Yeah,
and it decides it's gonna nuke fucking Japan and all these places. And Malcolm, the main character, he builds a fight like
eh,
opposing AI
yeah,
named Kokoro.
yes,
Kokoro. And basically he's trying to convince Kokoro though when he brings it online not to do the same thing. Like
yeah.
like he wants it to protect them, but he doesn't want it to do the same thing. And it's fucking crazy, bro. Because what they did with this, I thought like, oh, this last plot twist was it. No, next episode, it's like, wait a minute, this goes
Whoa,
deeper.
whoa,
This goes deeper,
yeah,
and then to the last very second, it's just like all of this shit from the very jump of the show to the
yeah.
very end is one to one. Like it all, everybody's rooted. Like it's fucking
And
nuts.
I honestly think that this takes place between Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. Like in the if you're going like movie timeline, like this series is like what happened from John Connor being born to John Connor growing up. And I liked how they kind of immediately disregarded everything that came after Terminator 1, like the first Terminator. And we're like, no, we're starting 80, like 1983. The guy, story kind
Malcolm.
of takes off in, yeah, with Malcolm and all that coming back in time. Um, so
Well,
I
you don't
think
you don't
that
know Malcolm is
it's a
back.
good,
You
yeah,
don't know Malcolm went
yeah.
back in time in the beginning of this show. You don't.
No, I'm saying like in the timeline, in their
Oh, okay.
timeline.
I was gonna say like
Yeah.
you don't know. Like you just kind of spoiled it.
Well,
You definitely
I
just
kind of
spoiled.
did. Sorry, guys. Spoiler alert, guys. um, but
I was
sorry.
trying to
I
leave
like
some. I
how
was trying to
this
leave some opening for people to still watch it.
uh wipes the slate clean of like any of the other franchises, saying this is where we're going from this point.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
nah,
going to
for
change.
sure. I definitely also I really enjoyed that it took place in Japan because like they really fed on like the fact that there's not a lot
Yeah.
of like there's no gun stores. There's not like the police just have like little revolvers and shotguns, and it just like it made it so much different than any other
Yeah.
Terminator movie. Like there's just not like tons of like machine guns and shit, you know? Like there
Yeah,
is
no,
like
you don't
in
have.
certain flash like, you know, in certain clips you'll see. But I love the Terminator design. Like the Terminators in this show,
Yeah,
one spoiler I will say, in their wrist, they have a crossbow that shoots like these nails. Like these
yeah.
like it's rough, bro. It just shoots like a high powered nail. Like it's fucking gnarly, dude. Like
Ugh. And I mean, it's there were moments of this movie where movie. I watched it like a movie. There were moments in this show where it was genuinely like scary.
oh yeah,
Like
dude, no, like
just
there was moments where I really thought they were killing children. Like straight up.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like the cliffhangers they were leaving on and shit was like
yeah.
I was like, yo, did they really just like pop that kid 4 times? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, holy shit, dude. Um, but no, all the way around, dude, the plot is solid. The animation is
Yes,
fucking amazing. Like,
I
and
watched it with the American dub. I
yeah,
gotta
I did
shout out
too.
the voice actors.
I did as
I gotta
well.
shout them out.
I only watched the American because I was really stoned late at night when I was watching this. Other than today, I watched the last 3 episodes like today. Um, but the other episodes, I was baked as fuck in the middle of the night. So I was just like, I'm not reading a bunch of subtitles, dude. Like, not while I'm trying to watch all this action. Like, but no, the voice acting was very, very good. Especially the Terminator, dude. Like,
Yeah. Um, I can shout him out right now. He was played by Timothy Olyphant.
okay.
He was in A Man Apart, Scream 2, Deadwood. He played the sheriff and was recently on Damages on and Justified.
Oh, Justified.
Yeah.
Okay. I do know Justified. That's about the only. All right. All right. All right. But yeah, no, dude, it was sick. I definitely recommend if you have Netflix, you get on this ASAP because I definitely
Yes.
think there's gonna be a season 2. Like, I could be wrong, but it feels like they're not gonna let this die.
Oh, I don't think so. And this is something that Terminator fans have been wanting for a very, very long time.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
what I'm hoping that a lot. I'm hoping that a lot of the people who are in the Terminator aren't too close-minded not to watch it because it's an anime. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, I hope they realize because it's an anime, they can go farther and like
yes.
do all this shit, and like the animation will just be clean as fuck. So
Uh,
so if you're a Terminator fan and you've been worried
yeah,
about watching this, go watch this.
go watch it. Um, I want to shout out one moment that I fucking loved is when Malcolm is talking to Kokoro and he's holding the sun because he's in the
Yeah.
computer chamber that has like the
Yeah,
holographics
it
and
was all the
stuff.
AI
Oh,
holograms.
that was like when he's sitting down on his bench and it's just invisible, so it looks like he's
Yeah,
sitting on
yeah.
empty space. And just the design for Kokoro was so interesting looking.
Yeah, the three
Uh,
different colored AI
yeah,
beings.
I loved it. I think Kokoro may have been my favorite character. And I know that it's kind of lame to see, but conceptually, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a stroke of brilliance to introduce a rival AI to something, and of course, it would be in Japan to rival what we set in motion in the United States. I think that was a really cool twist.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I think that's what I think that's what really made the show overall was that the plot was so good. Like it was so
Yeah,
thought out and like intertwined with everybody, you know? Like you couldn't it very much so felt like a Terminator story.
yes, from beginning, literally from beginning to end. Um, and I think this is my favorite anime. I really do. Um, I'm not gonna say that One Piece is below this, but just in terms of clean animation, the style, the action, the drama behind it, the real philosophical questions that we right now should be asking ourselves about artificial technology or artificial, intelligence. That I think is something that should resonate with people now. And again, be nice to your AI.
Yeah, I gotta be nicer to Siri then. I gotta start. I gotta stop acting up. I gotta stop acting up on her on stream. I gotta be like, "Hello, Siri. Hello.
How was your day?
Would you like a charge?" See, I am nice to my Siri. I don't. I don't invade her. I use the wireless charger. I don't get too
I think,
personal.
yeah, no. Uh,
Just kidding. I said I don't get too
like
personal. I'm
why?
talking about the AI on my phone. Motherfucker knows more about me than I do about myself.
Dude,
Uh,
that motherfucker's seen your O face more times than your girlfriend has. Let's be real.
yeah, nah, but for real, man, there is a lot of memorable scenes
Oh
in that anime, and I'm
God,
not
yeah.
gonna spoil them all, but I I think when you guys watch it, you'll know what they are without me even saying it. Like, it's just a lot of the plot twist scenes. They do a good job of, like, showing you something badass when they connect the dots most of the time. So,
Yeah.
uh, man, there's so much I want to say, but I'm not going to spoil it. On that,
I will also
go ahead.
say that without spoiling anything, I loved how they explained the whole time travel thing. Like that whole sequence was so fun and visually appealing to look at.
I would agree. My favorite scene is a big spoiler, so I can't tell you on the air.
Yeah. No.
No, I won't. I won't. Um, but dudes, make sure you follow us on Spotify and YouTube and drop a like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you. We do live stream on Twitch at Fridays and Saturdays at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes a little late, but usually 12:05. Um, but yeah, make sure you follow us. This will be out this week, and we'll have some more stuff for you this week as well. Juju, you got anything you want to say?
um it's a scary world out there, guys. Um make sure that you treat each other nicely, treat your AI nicely, treat yourself nicely. And I think you should be fine.
Yeah, and make sure you watch Terminator Zero. That's all I can say.
Yes.
I mean, they did such a crazy fucking job with just like capturing the vibe and aesthetic of Terminator, but putting it in an anime. Like, it could have
Anime.
been done any fucking better. So mark my words, enjoy it, and remember, never offended, always recommended. Have a good night. Later.